G'day, today we say goodbye to Island 14 there, and we start our expedition onto Island 15. Hopefully we get to see breweries again, because I think it's been a few. Then, alright, so straight out the gate we are very flat. Now that means that our overhangs are going to be very limited. So if we have a look at this and the way that we want to approach, 3 towers. I feel like this would be a good area for one. I'm curious about this rock here. Whether we can actually build on it smoothly. It seems like we kind of can. Which makes me think that this is an okay spot for a town. And over here. I've got to place 2 of these now. I'm going to drop one there. And then we'll go one. And we've got over there. Seem like he's sort of too impeded. Drop sort of on the rock. We can get masons up there. That probably would be pretty good. Definitely a lumber pack on this one. Based on the amount of trees that we've got. Though, I don't know about getting him that close in, because that's going to impede into a town. So what we actually want to do is sort of drop him on the outskirts. It's in 11 there. These early stages are just feeling going to fight for every single tree that I can get. So we'll go 2 11s, because then I can get one of these guys in. Double digits for him. Just want to really get over the line. There are a lot of flowers in the vicinity there, so we should eventually get a real nice shaman placement. Brewing pack, 100%. Okay, so the other thing that we need to try and build is that we want a town spot, we want a mansion spot, and then we also want a field sort of spot. Now I actually wonder if I'm giving too much space to the town over this way. So either with that, we're sort of very limited. These guys can go on sand. They can go on sand. Put them out the right way. I almost feel like this corner is a real nice spot for them, like a larger area than what I'm giving to everyone else. Let's go the far corner this way, I think. So we'll start with the brewery field. I do wonder if I'm going too close in here. Let's work this way. Let's just sort of try and make the most of this jolted area up here. These guys sort of have a decent range to them. Let me rip that back up. Let's give these guys a tower statue. May as well have it there from the drop. These guys sort of really give us gain. Because, like I said, they like each other. They like tower. A brewery can really give you some decent success. Okay, so I really don't want to start my second town until my first town has a city center to it. So I'm going to just try and focus on one, and we'll go obviously the mansions because we've got more mansions to start with here. First question is, what type of building is this going to be? So you can see that he's going to be a guy that can hook around. So if we put this guy, say, there, might be able to wedge this guy in between. Why is that important? It's probably not, but just the idea of getting these guys to have as many, be able to see both of them as possible, sort of goal. Put them as far to the right as we can go. Beautiful. Alright, so there was a level a few back where we didn't get any masons. So the fact that we are getting masons is a nice win here. Masons do like town centers, so I'm a bit... I want to hold off for that second town center, I think. What we'll try and do is just see if we can scooch more guys into the real valuable range here. Not much I like about either of those. I don't really want the farming pack near my brewers. Now they're too far apart. They can't be... There you go. You can see it. Take that. Again, so many flowers over here that maybe that's where I should have put my... Well, no, because the brewers would have just ripped it all out. Undecided. Try and drop that guy in there. Happily take a 10 for that guy. Yeah, I mean, like, maybe all the way over there, but these small towns get big. So I would imagine that I can grow a fair bit. Really all we need is just someone where they can pull me a little bit. Let's see if he can get... Yeah, 14. Job. Absolutely. Bring on the shaman. I imagine the shaman... Yeah, that's what we want to see. 45, 48. $45 down here would mean that we could place the other shaman sort of up there. Still nab 30, but I kind of think that possibly a 48 there. You can still get a 35 just by placing him right next to him. And I think that that's going to be our winning move. What do these guys think of shaman? They like him. Okay. So let's go for a shaman on this side. So normally I just play with shaman with the mansion cities. Beautiful. Okay, so we've got our city center now. He doesn't like the shaman. That's okay. We'll just have to deal with it. This guy will shift sort of up that way. And we'll start to get these guys in. You can see the bonus 5 that these guys are going to get. So the 5 that we lost for having that shaman close by, we've already gained back from that one house. And once those small houses get going, they really get going. And at least we've sort of got mansions far enough that now we're only seeing one or the other of the two sort of significant buildings in the middle. But because there's so many other mansions around, they sort of are still pulling a double-digit number. Okay, 37 on that side. We've got a 43. 43 just there. Let's do that. Yep, let's start our little collection of huts. And, okay, let's get our masons working a bit more on this side. The thing is I still get 10 putting him there. And that's actually... The way that the masons work, they're an investment in future gains that we'll get from having them all in the same vicinity. You can see that even just sort of rolling those guys up towards them, they start to pick up some real nice numbers. $37. 40. Yep, I'll take the 40. Plateau. Now, Plateau is another one that will benefit greatly from these masons all being real close to each other. See there, we can get a 36 for this, for just being sort of behind them. So again, we'll take the, let's take the 2. The consideration that we can slot that guy in back there. But we won't yet. It is a sort of a strategy I've employed a bit more in more recent levels that we can gain by like a plateau isn't a place to put, you're not placing a plateau to gain points from what you put on it. You're placing a plateau for the gain that that plateau is going to give you. Alright, we've got our tower. I mean, normally you wouldn't want to place a tower too early. So I have to drop him a little bit further that way. Still to the gain of the plateau, still okay to fit in there. Does mean that these guys have a bit more room to swing around and hit more masons. So when we're going to get like a warehouse or a market, or the temple, I think the temple also loves, he loves plateaus as well, the temple, so this little town on this side is going to thrive. Okay, so there's our warehouse. $25 there. 12. I don't know why he doesn't like being on the rock. Okay on the top, but anywhere else he's not stoked. So we won't make a move with him yet. Have a look at what we can get some parks. So they can rack up some 18s, 17s there. On this side we can get sort of 11s. So we'll go for those 18s. 20. 19. 19. These guys do love the statues, so if we can get in close enough that he can see the statues, it's a 42 up that way. 40 there. I think I'll take the 40. Let's have a quick look. He's 44. And sort of get partway between both towns. 45 is what he's bringing to us at the moment. Lots of trees around this area too, so they can score us big with the reconnection. Alright, so as usual, just nothing more than just the hitting the gold get from him. 71, very good placement there. We get 5 per house, and we've got 6 houses in the chamber, so we will definitely fire off on all of those before we place him. So we just want to remember we're putting him against that farm and against the fountain, so he's just into this little nook there. The problem always becomes with these houses is they stop being worth anything once they sort of move out from central part of the city. We had like a shaman we could place near them, or if we were game to place that. What else did I have? City center, the other city center. But I mean, the cost, the points I would lose for that city center being nearish to the you can see there, we say he's now worth 101. For that city center being near another city center would never be worth it in the amount of placements that we'd otherwise do. Having a look, 14 I can pick up, so let's take a 14, or was it 13? A 4 and then a 13. Take 2 13s. Market. Alright, so we haven't placed the warehouse yet, which obviously is going to be the big part for him. Loves masons as well. So, somewhere central. What did you rack up there? 45 if he's up there. Isn't bad. What we would then want to consider is where could the warehouse go. 31 for the warehouse down there. I think that's possibly the best score we're getting for the warehouse. 28 down there. Let's drop the warehouse down that way. That ups him to a 65. In fact, let's just pull the warehouse for a second. Does a warehouse like the jewelry store? No, doesn't care for it. Alright, so let's get this guy. See if we can sneak him somewhere at the back here. It's not liking anything about being up on this rock. Alright, well I guess we'll build this town on that angle, since it seems to be what it'll accept. Do you like markets? You don't care. Yeah. Oh, we obviously don't want to put him in there. Still holding off that for our gold mine. Alright, pretty early for the Resort Oasis here. Resort Oasis 64... 65, okay. So, knowing he fits up here, 100% that's where we want to put him. Now, he will benefit 5 for every park we place near him. So this is where we possibly will look at what sort of good park placement can we get near the breweries. We have another brewery as well. 21 even in the vicinity of your other brewery is not bad. Did this guy care about the brewery? No, in fact he likes the brewery. Okay. Well, second brewery. I'm in for the cuddle. Oh, obviously this guy we want to try and get somewhere in the vicinity of those fellas. 35 is quite a nice score. Now, based on where we're putting these fisheries, it does also mean that we probably want to have a start considering where we want to put our huts, which might be along this little like slither here. I don't like the masons though. They're the ones that don't agree with masons. Maybe we'll put them elsewhere. That means that we want to consider that if they are going elsewhere, then we want to put the other town hall and the fishers nearby them as well. Okay. So, I don't... I mean, this town could possibly still continue to grow out this way. Won't start placing that mill yet. I will try and hold off on him as long as I can. Just don't trust that mill that everyone else isn't going to be very unhappy about him being in there. 52. We see him bigger than that. 53. $106. Yeah, let's give ourselves a shot. Avon. $33. I say it every single time. I'm always disappointed by the underwhelming score you seem to get from a tavern. Or only something you'll only get one of. I feel my placement with them is always impeccable. That's not worth anything. Now, it's really going to become a question of what sort of... Are you even going to give me wall plateaus in this level? Does the room actually exist for wall plateaus? And if so, what can we do with them? It's the big questions we're going to have. 10 points there. If I put him right next to this guy, I can get 15. So if he's... we put this guy up there, he would hit him with him sitting there. So we'll go 15 for him. Get this guy up on the hill. And we'll take a 93. The other thing too is we can get this 52 for this plateau. Temple on there. He does not like the market. I don't think I'm going to get any better than that for the plateau, so we're going to play that. Finally concede and go the brick industry. There's just always going to have a lot of walls no matter what. So they can wait. Seaweed farm, okay. So, go this way for our seaweed farm. Oh, there is a mason there too. Just after I finally gave up waiting for a... to have one benefit the plateau even more. Get one more. Alright, so we'll put this guy there. Give him a little bit of seaweed. So we're getting a lot of good scores for parks over there. Like I said, we know what we're aiming for in terms of using parks on this side. $16's a good get. You can see that with those placements we've upped this guy too. Don't make me think I've gone crazy. 92. Always love big scores for just regular house placements. Balloon. Now, if I recall correctly, most things prefer 48 for one of them. Yep. Most balloons, so we can get a 73 just because you can see two of the masons and two of the plateaus. Go to this end of town. 39. Like the other one is, I didn't check, but let's do it. If I take that brewery and put him down here. 25. Let's get a score. Back this way we go. 39. That nice little perfect slot for you. Now the monument likes fields. No, not fields. He likes parks, city centers, temples. It'd go crazy if you got to be near the temple. He's just loving being near all the parks of the mansion city, and then over here he's not too jazzed. So 76 over this way. So far his best offer. 40 for this guy. Wild about his parks as well. 61. What do you think of temples? You do like temples, but I think the temple would be too far away from you anyway. Oh, it might just be in range, depending on where we end up putting it. Alright, we are at that usual stage of we can get double digits for a replacement of a mansion. That's a victory. Goes riding high on having a nearby fountain. Well, these guys usually will just be flirting with, say, 20. Close to 20. Alright, water plateau, so we're now starting to get to Plateau County. Still grab a 35 for this guy down there. 12 up there's not really worth the amount of points that he would have ultimately get, so I think a 35... it's going to be our best offer. Do you hate the balloon? You don't care about the balloon, but the balloon doesn't like the mansion, does it? No, it doesn't like the temple, yeah. 25. It's pretty low. I don't think that having the temple's probably going to be on this side. I'm only a few rounds away from getting that. We'll see if we get the wall plateau or not, though. So, I guess that's what I've got to hold out for. 65. Get a 60 if we come down this way too. For it not be on that plateau, so let's go down there for the 54. Okay. So we have gotten a wall plateau here. Let's have a look at where we could sort of place them. Because I think that my problem is going to be that I just don't have the height. So if we say put this one... Luckily we can rip up one. So if we put him there, then we come up, he says, I'm okay with that. But, talk to me, Temple, about what you do and don't like. You like masons. He loves masons. So, we have to have this guy in Mason County, USA. So there's a little bit too far back. Ideally, we want him about there. So, the wall plateau come off a anywhere in here that we can get our first one, and we can just sort of have a second one connect to it. Okay, so as low as we can get, we're going to take out some of the this plateau here, but like I said, that one's kind of more about That was more about the value that we got from the from placing the plateau rather than the plateau itself. Centralized to that point there, get 113, and he's actually missing out on 3 of the plateaus. 3 of the plateaus. He's missing out on 3 of the masons, and he's 25 points for them. But I think that that's as pretty spectacular a spot as we can get. 83 for there. 146. Bummer that Haven's pulling 20 points off him. We will take 146 for that. Now, when that comes to this guy, you can see that we're only going to get 24 for him. He's like, that's kind of cool, but I really like parks more than religion. So, send him up that way. Okay. So now we are into the stretch of just having everything and laying it out. Now, question is, I keep clicking on those plateaus, but I want these ones. Are you going to be generous to me and let me sort of connect this in any way further on? Usually you won't, because the temple is right up against the edge in every way. If we could get one of these out, value that we would get for the houses that would be sitting on it would be very much worth our while. In the way that, like, they probably would have been worth more than the temple sitting on it. So, it doesn't look like it's going to play. I mean, I guess we can just sort of extend out our town to the side one way or the other. So let's just go there. See how that works for placement. I mean, we don't know. Nah, it's not worth it. Even there's not, like, getting that central in any way. Have a look at some points we can get over here. So we can get 56 for him there. Take that. These guys at the back here, yeah, there we go, some 30s for placements on there. Yeah, we've still got some industries we haven't even started with yet. The brick makers and our mill. Okay, we still haven't built our Resort Oasis yet. If we can get double digits for any placements of arcs over here, we'll do it. And we'll continue to hunt just a nice big score. 110. I think we'll take 110. So these guys are going to be about the trees. So we've got so many trees, and we've got a lot of places where we haven't had like, we're not going to have any of the, like, towns reach. There we go, 14 up that way is a good one. Yet another well-placed house. Yeah, you can see this is why I sort of think that these guys could benefit from decent overhang. But back here is just too far back. Like, they're not going to see it. They're not going to get remotely close to town there. Oh, take that 9. definitely should have put the balloon in first before the temple. But 25 is all we're going to get from him now. I mean, really, this is the only sort of areas we're going to have. Oh, I suppose all the way up there. Let's go up here for our brickyards. Can't get you close enough to see that. Oh, that monument is just out of reach. As we put it in the middle, you can sort of see both. And a little bit more happiness. I think we're looking good at the moment. We have 14 huts. Huts are always my fallback plan. We're holding on to a city centre for when we start to do that hut placement. That will sort of make the decision of where we want to put them, and then we'll place that house, city centre, for their benefit. These guys like masons too. So, I mean, they could sort of gain from being in this vicinity. I don't think the town's going to get all the way over here. Let's... And they like the plateau, so let's make them happy. Before... Let's look at this side. It looks like 33. 33. Yeah, 8 will do us for that guy. If we get these guys far enough up the beach, they can see maybe some of these trees. Give us an okay score. Okay, so this guy's got he could have a field on him, so I'm a bit more reluctant to use him, just sort of throw him around, because that could come in real handy. I feel like in here, the 24 there, let's take that 24. I can get a market or something on him there. Be quite handy. I'll take 24 for one of these guys. Just there. Those guys like it, they don't love it. I'm gonna burn that position for a 7 from a mansion. Look at that, I managed to get a guy to see the monument. Was possible. Alright, I think we're starting to hit territory of these guys. Now, start looking at their likes and dislikes, and it seems like their likes sort of center around here. If we go any closer, they're not happy, which means that I'm gonna build them some plateaus out here. Now, I don't want to waste that plateau on this. I'm gonna put that over here. We get another resort oasis. That could be a real nice placement for them. So for these guys, we are going to put this just there. There you go. So you can see 16s we can get for them there. Then we can place this guy. And we place him on that island. Or if we they give these guys an attachment. 29. Like 29 for him. That makes these guys 22 happy. And we don't want to sneak one of them in there 'cause it's not worth it. Circus 36. 24. 36 has it. It's 30's not bad still. It's 30 on that side as well. Go 30. I'm curious about what I can actually get underneath here. So I can't go fully underneath them, but I can just sort of run along that edge. 19 there. Like that. 49. Take a 49. What sort of 50? Another plateau. $42. Again, that's just a placement of a building. It's not a placement of a building that we're ever going to put anything on. It's just a placement of a building. It's just a too weird a shape to get on that top bit. Fit down here with these two guys. I think they'll make you very happy. Too shaman to feel very spiritual with. And these fields are just too small that they can't. That I sort of gave up my good middle positioning there of the two fields. Like fields being able to see both of them. 24. Take the 24 there. Yeah, I'd say we are easily going to make it to our next island from here, since we still haven't had to crack open our huts. Sawmill's a funny little one. Put a sawmill on that. We can get more points for this by them being able to see a sawmill. But put this guy there anyway. Just to allow them to sort of expand out a bit more. So let's start with a couple of those. We don't want to throw them all out there. We want to wait till we get more things, just in case we get something else that's to their benefit. For example, Shaman would give them a bonus 2 points per. So if I'm going to lose 10 points for the placement of him, Just gotta find a spot where we can get a gain. There. Lovely. Got this guy, so we can go... Let's turn him a little bit. Lovely. 2 mansions. Usually pretty worthless at this point. Proceedings. 11 there, and a... Yeah, I'll take a 9. $18. 30? Sure. Take you for 30. Slightly too far away for anyone to actually connect to. As always, walls are going to be the last thing that we place. There's that second market I hypothesize that we might get. Even seeing the other one, 141. So we do actually get some real nice value out of that third war plateau. That has got us available to Island 16. So double victory there. 216. I'm sure you got to be able to give me something good up here. 28. 28 it is. Now we've got the island too, I reckon we should just play a little bit quicker. Real no frills. Third market. 46. We pulled just out of range of that market. 53. 64, 66, 79, 80, 81. Was there an 85 there? 85. Imagine you're doing your shopping in this town. You want to go to the market? Which one? The one all the way on top of the mountain? The one on the rickety overhang? Or the one down on the sand? There's no real appealing direction to be heading here. I can get a +2 from there. 12 if I just dip him that little bit further away. And I mean, I'm only down to 3 of these guys, but they appreciate it. Although I had this guy too, I suppose I could put him somewhere to try and increase their gain. That's a field one. Let's put him over there. Another field one. Sort of going all over the place with our water plateau placements today. I suppose we don't want to go too far around these guys because we're getting heaps of these fields as well, so they actually also need the space to go. And they don't care about parks. Hence, the parks do love the plateaus as well. Speaking of, another plateau to go. 14. Bit better than 14. These guys do like the masons. We can pull him back a little bit. Yeah, we can just do some town halls for points. Love the small houses just for the running out of space, and it's like, well, wherever you can fit me in, I'll still give you a 30. I'm not fussed. I'm just happy to have a home. I mean, all the mansions are just like, well, we're only next to one fountain, and the closest park's a street away. I do like the huts, so we even get a score of 16 there, even though you can see so many guys. Oh, I think I could place a water plateau, but I reckon even with him there I could still do it and get a decent chunk for a fourth one if one comes along. Gotta squeeze in a whole bunch of walls as well. Done here. $21, $23. 25? Sure. You get in a spot where you can see 2 downholes. Like 16 was the best I might have seen for this guy. 18. Alright. So if we put this guy, say, right next to this one, see if we can. $18, and then what we can do is put these 2 guys next to both of them and score big numbers for them because they're seeing 2 guys they both really want to see. Go at 12. $14. Alright, let's start bricking it all up. Okay. Should be able to get, yeah. Probably 14's more where we want to aim for. We don't want 11's. Still getting healed, so we've got to keep leaving the space for him. And oh. Still working on more than 11 a goal. Huts are one of the weird few things that don't care about being fenced in. If we put this guy far enough this way, surely he can a nice hearty score. 55, just 55 right there. That's lovely. Sure. 28 there somewhere? A weird little angle. start as far this way as we go. 17, 17. Consistent with these brick makers. Alright, let's... We're now up to the point where we'll take 11s. I've also got this set up over there that probably can add us a bit of points. You're going to be worth nothing at this stage. Let's box in Paradise over here. And that's sort of it's the idea of why we put these extra things down here, but this is so far away from it. Alright, 5 more walls. Let's find some homes. Just on the wrong angle there. Oh, it just doesn't like being on that hill at all. Alright, now accepting down to 9. Will it take 8s as well? And there we go. Another island down. Island at number 15. So that felt like a pretty nice and smooth one there. No rough seas at all. And with that one down, we can have a just quick check to see our rank. So we were above 2,000 before, and we are now down to 1,804. We can still see that the ones just above us are still only like very reachable, so we are still, well, even if we fail the next island, we're still going to climb that board, but obviously our end goal here is at least to get to 21. So, so far so good though. Still rolling with pretty good confidence. Any questions or comments, feel free to chuck them below. And until next time, catch you later. See ya.